Hello and welcome to Lesson 3, page 29 in the Mary Cole textbook. This is the song titled Mary Had a Little Lamb in the Level 1 book. And now I'm sure you've heard this melody before, and oftentimes it's thought that playing a song that you already know makes it a little easier, which is true, but sometimes the written part that we're reading is maybe a little bit different than you have learned the song before. So it's important to really stay focused on the rhythms that are written on this page and playing what is written, not just what you hear in your head, okay? So we'll work through the song line by line. But before we do that, we have a first that's happening in the Mary Cole book. And we are using notes under the group of 3 black keys and also the group of 2 black keys. So now we're going to be using a total of 5 notes with F, G, A, and B, and C. So the C that I'm going to use is going to be middle C. So the group of 3 black keys I'm going to be using is actually the group of 3 black keys below middle C, if you want to match my piano. So let's start by getting all of the notes we need for the song and setting up a fingering of where our fingers can be to cover all of these keys. So again, I'm starting on that group of 3 black keys below middle C, and I first have the note F, the next note G, the next is A, the next is B, and finally we have C. Excellent. So we want to make sure that the notes are all going from left to right. And we don't want to have something where maybe we're covering F, G, A, and B, and then we go down here for C. Because look, there's a C right next to the B, okay? So remember, from left to right is how we're going to find our notes. If you can find F, well, great, now you found all the rest, because we just have to keep moving one note at a time. F, G, A, B, and C. So we're actually not using B at all in this song, but we're still going to cover it with the finger just so we don't have any gaps in our hand position. And it'll be good practice as well to be using all of these notes. But let's start. I would use 3 fingers, and I'm going to be using my left hand to cover F, G, and A. And then 2 fingers in my right hand to cover B and C. And you can switch that up, and that might be a lot easier for some of our right-handed students. And that would be 3 fingers on A, B, and C. And then my left hand will use 2 fingers on F and G. Either of these would be fine options to cover all of the notes that we need in this song. If you are someone who's using a 5-finger pattern in one hand, your thumb would be on F, and then 1 finger on each key from left to right is another great way to play this song. Very good. So let's get our hands set up in our hand position and practice playing some of these notes. And remember, we're not going to be using B in this song, but for our warm-up, I'll go ahead and use it just for the extra practice. All right, play the notes as I say them. Let's play an F. Now a G. How about an A? Now a B and a C. Let's go back to F. Now A. How about a C? B. G. How about up to A? And C, and lastly down to F. Now that we are warmed up with our keys, let's start to take a look at the first line of our song and talk about some of the rhythms. So it looks like in Mary Had a Little Lamb we have quarter notes or walk notes. We also have half notes, which are held for 2. And at the very end of our song we have a whole note, which is held for 4. But in our first line we already get 6 walk notes or quarter notes in a row, and then our first half note. Let's take a look at the notes we're going to use. A, G, F, G, A, A. And this is where the lyrics in the song are going to be probably very helpful, since I'm sure you've heard this famous nursery rhyme before. Mary had a little lamb, or A, G, F, G, A for 2. So let's try it a little slower than that together on our pianos. Line number 1, hands ready on F, G, A, B, and C. 1, 2, here we go. Play A, G, F, G, A for 2, and off. Nice work. And looking at line number 2, we have some repetition or some repeating notes. So we just played A in line 1, and now we're going to play G, G, G for little lamb. And then we play A, C, C. So this is our first leap in the song. What I mean is we skip over a key. So from A up to C in line number 2. Okay? So we'll want to be careful with that one. And let's try it. It's the same rhythm pattern twice in a row. Walk, walk, hold for 2. Let's get our hands ready and try to play line number 2 together. 1, 2, line 2, play, play. G, G, G for 2. A, C, C for 2, and off. Very nice work. And on the third line, it looks like we have a repeated pattern or phrase, we could call it, of A, G, F, G with those 4 walk notes. And it's almost the same as our first line, but it looks like here we get 4 walk notes or 4 A's in a row. And this is a part that we want to make sure we play all 4 of them correctly. So maybe you could count 1, 2, 3, 4 when you get to that first A out loud, or just really make sure we're keeping our eyes on each walk note as we play them. So let's get our hands ready to try line number 3. 1, 2, line 3, play, play. A, G, F, G, A, one more, A. Very good. And again, even though we might think it's going to be easy to play 4 notes in a row, sometimes it can be tricky to remember how many you've played. So watch out for this section at the end of the song. And to finish the song, Fleece as White as Snow, we have G, G, A, G with 4 walk notes or quarter notes. And then we hold our whole note F for 4 beats at the very end. So let's try line 4 together, nice and slow. Hands ready. 1, 2, line 4, play, play. G, G, A, G, and hold F, F, 2, 3, 4, and off. Well done, and now we are ready to try our first full performance of Mary Had a Little Lamb together, once at a slower speed and then the second time through at a slightly faster tempo or speed. Here we go from the beginning of the song, hands ready. 1, 2, here we go, play. A, G, F, G, A for 2, second line, G, G, G 2, and A, C, C for 2, A, G, F, G, A, last line, G, G, A, G, F, 2, 3, 4, and off. Great job, and let's go back to the beginning and try the song at a slightly faster speed. 1, 2, here we go. Play A, G, F, G, A for 2, G, G, G for 2, A, C, C for 2, A, G, F, G, 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 A, G, F, 2, 3, 4, and off. Congratulations on completing the song, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I will see you on the next one.